Hi YMCA family, it's Laura. It's good to see you this morning. It's Tuesday and it's important to keep track of what day it is, I think, because I feel like days are just running together at this point. So I wanted to let you know of a couple of things. One is that we have April Animal Madness, and voting is due today, tonight. So please go on to the YMCA of Greater Brandywine page and look for our April Animal Madness tournament. We'll be voting for the Elite 8 this week. The other thing I wanted to tell you is today I was thinking that we would explore using a strap a little bit, and I experimented with a beach towel. So a beach towel works, so if you want to take a moment and go grab one, you can. You'll also need something to pass. Is always fun to have a focal point if that's something that you would like to do, but you don't need it. You also can utilize a pillow and a blanket if you'd like that. Whatever makes this practice for you really cozy. Hey Jen, good morning. Hi Leslie, it's good to see you. I'm just so grateful to be able to practice with you like this today. I also wanted to just let you know that we are going to move into a flow complete class. It'll be a vinyasa flow beginning next Tuesday, and that's going to be with Chrissy. Jackie already does a Pilates class, and she gives lots of options on Fridays. So it'll be great to do this flow class with Chrissy on Tuesdays. So we're so happy to have her back, and we are going to get started. So thank you so much for practicing with me this morning. I really appreciate it. And we're gonna set an intention today. So I'd like you to think about an intention that you would like to set for yourself as far as the day is concerned, because it's important that we begin with a positive mindset and find joy. Try to find what that strength or that courage or that intention you need to have, and I'd like you to think about that in your heart center for a moment. And just give yourself a moment to consider what you would like that to be. I'd like you to really breathe that in as we just take the time to breathe and be in this moment. So creating that space for yourself, just for this period of time. If our mind begins to wander, we come back to that intention. Breathe deeply. And when you're ready, rise up with those arms and pull that energy into your heart center. I'll share with you that my intention is every time that I'm washing my hands, I am planning on thinking about 10 things that I'm grateful for. Let's try to keep those different every time we wash our hands. And breathe. And we're gonna come into center one more time. Deep breath up and in. And exhale. So you're taking this practice as you want to own it and you want to take it. Today we're going to start a little differently, and we're going to begin with a Pilates practice. We're going to begin standing for this practice. And what I'd like to just introduce to you is some standing Pilates where you're going to utilize your core. So I want you to think about this powerhouse from the shoulders here to your hips. And I want you to imagine that there is a golf club taped from the back of your head to your tailbone. And what we want to do is keep the thought of that lengthening through the top of our head. And we're going to breathe. We're going to let those arms float behind us. So the ring, the jewel of my ring is facing the ceiling. My palms are down and I'm sending my shoulders back away from my ears. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lean over, shine the top of my head forward. Those shoulders are back. And I'm going to begin to pump my hands. And I'm going to inhale for 5. And I'm going to exhale for 5. And that tummy is tight and supportive. So the further that you're longer here, if that feels like it's too much for you, start with that hinge, bring the belly button back slightly towards your spine, and stay up a little bit taller if that feels better. Again, I'm just shining forward here, and I'm pumping those arms, and I'm inhaling for 5, and I'm exhaling for 5. Nice and strong through those arms. And then when I'm ready, I'm gonna let myself fold and just breathe and let that head say yes, let that head say no. Just get a little bit drippy here. And then when you're ready, stand up with the back of your heart. Deep breath up and in. And exhale. Nice shoulders, roll back and down. Be aware of those shoulders creeping up. They try to protect us. Great. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take one foot, we're going to place it behind ourselves here. Standing mermaid, same type of stability through the obliques here. I'm going to elongate one arm. I'm going to take my other arm and cross. I'm going to use my nose as a little chisel and guide to just take me across the plane of space there. And I'm going to make sure I'm lengthening, I'm breathing, I'm paying attention to the space between my shoulders and my ears. I'm finding that stability and balance in my feet, and I'm taking myself to my edge as I'm breathing in and up. Then I'm rotating around. Just really beautiful, long space, long bones. And then when you're ready, we're gonna float back around the opposite way. Cross, look, lift. Breathe into the rib cage, breathe into the space between the shoulders and ears. Just really let yourself feel the earth under your feet. Nice long bones. And then when you're ready, we're gonna float back around. We're just gonna give that a little wiggle. It's always good to add a little wiggle. And then when you're ready, we're gonna switch sides. Take one foot, cross it over. And again, we're gonna start with this side. This time we're rolling up, breathing, we're looking. Use that nose to chisel the space in order to breathe into your twist. All of those stabilizing muscles are there for you. It feels so good to take some nice deep breaths together. We're gonna come around the other side. Again, look, breathe, lift. Stay nice and strong here. Go to your edge. And then when you're ready, we're gonna come back around and do a little twist side to side. Rolling those shoulders back, rolling them forward. Good, let's take a nice deep breath up and in. Let yourself fold. I really want you just breathing that out, taking the time to take those breaths. And here, when we're in this bend, let's think about rejuvenating our brain with beautiful oxygenated blood. And let's maybe move our hips around a little bit. Let's bend our knees a little bit. Let's just feel our feet on the earth and let the head float down. Breathe it in. Good. And then stand up with the back of your heart. Deep inhalation. Exhale. Good. Roll those shoulders back and roll them forward. Nice. We're going to make our way down to our mat. And I had suggested taking a pillow, or I have my bender ball here, which I love. It's worth any of the few dollars that it costs for it, because if you have a back that needs more love, this ball is just super amazing. But you can use a pillow also, just to give yourself a sense of awareness and a sense of space there. So I like to take my ball or my pillow and just stick it right behind my back here. And we're just gonna gently ease ourselves back. Apple's length between the chin and the chest. We're long with our fingertips, shoulders. And then we're gonna come all the way up. Good. So you're just taking that down to where you feel those little earthquake rumbles, right? Because we wanna make sure that we're taking care of ourselves in the best way that we know how. Only you know your body. So you're just taking it down and then lifting up, and we're just getting a sense of awareness of those tummy muscles right now. And then I'd like you to just take one arm back, and the first thing that you can do is just draw that elbow back and then come up, and draw the elbow back and come up. If you want to, you can make this more grand and come up so it's more of a row and come up. But you keep things smaller. Remember, keeping it smaller and closer to our body is less intense than having things longer. So if my arms go longer, I feel more than if I'm keeping things shorter and closer to my body. You do what feels best to you. You want to lengthen? Lengthen, right? Whatever feels good. We're doing one more like that. Whatever feels good to you. And then come back up. We're going to elongate those legs. We're going to pull the hunky chunky out from underneath us. We're going to get lots of length in the spine here, and then float over and let your hands float down onto the arms. Let the head float forward. Breathe into the back of the neck. Take some nice deep belly breaths. Stay with your practice. If your brain starts to travel somewhere, come back. My brain was just traveling to try to understand how. It looks like there's tomato sauce on my windowsill. I don't know how that would happen, but it seems to be there. So I'm wandering right now. We are going to come knees back. And here, you certainly do not need to use your Pillow Warrior ball, but it is an opportunity for you if you want to. And what we're going to do is we're just going to come back onto our hips and just come back slightly, and then we're going to just lift our feet up. Nice tall spine, top of the head going towards the ceiling, and we're going to lengthen through that spinal column. Try to relax here. If it feels like it's too much to have the legs up that high, you can keep them lower, but we're going to stay right here. Nice deep belly breath. Good, nice and long. Very nice. And then when you're ready, we're going to just let those legs come down. We're going to elongate our legs, and we're going to come all the way down. Just relax down. Good. And then just give a little wiggle here to those hips. Give a little wiggle to the shoulders. Just check in with yourself. We're going to take those feet, place them into a tripod. Big toe, little toe, heel, tripod. And then I'm going to think about that base, those feet right underneath my body here. When I'm ready, I'm going to press up into a little bridge. So I'm going to keep that in a little bridge here. And then I can decide if I want to keep my hands down on the floor or clasp them and walk my shoulders under a little bit. But what I can also do is I can do just a little lift. So again, if I keep my knee bent, I'm using the earth underneath my feet. I'm pressing into the earth with those feet, and I can just do a little lift on the other side. I can keep my feet planted into the earth, or if I want to, I can do a little elongation, keeping those legs parallel and just using the energy of the earth underneath one foot. So you do what feels best to you. Take a break. Of course you can take a break whenever you want to. Good. And then we're going to relax and release down. We're going to bring those knees into the belly and rock side to side here. Just if there's any, relaxing posture that we're doing today that helps you to just de-stress and feel good about your body, move your body around in any way that feels good to you and safe to you. That's where we want to be. Good. And then when you're ready, we are going to elongate one leg if that feels good to you. Otherwise, you can keep a slight bend to this knee. We're going to elongate one leg up to the ceiling. And here, I have options. So If it feels better to have a slight bend to that knee, I want you to. If you want to take your head off the floor, apples length between the chin and the chest, you can. But we're just gonna breathe here and get some blood flow into these hammies. And I'm gonna point and flex my feet. And remember, this practice is about balancing out everything else you have going on in your life. So sometimes we don't even take the time to just give our ankles a little roll or really take time to stretch. So breathe into that stretch. And again, you can elongate this leg if that feels better to you. Good. And here, I know that this is still our Pilates practice, but you're more than welcome to use a tool like a towel. And we're going to use this a little bit later too, but if it feels better for you to get that stretch out here, let's do that. You can use your towel if that feels good to you. You can let the head lay on the mat if that feels good to you. And then we can switch sides, right? Again, a bend here or a lengthening and nice stretching through. I'm gonna press my heel up towards the sky and I'm just giving myself that little stretch. And again, you can use your towel or not, use a strap. You can even have like a little piece of rope, you know, just anything that you wanna put at the bottom of the foot there. Breathe into that. Again, if you have any lower back discomfort, bent knee might feel better here. Good. And then we're gonna let that leg come down. We're gonna go into scissors. So when we're in scissors, we are going to start both legs up towards the sky. If your legs are towards the sky, it's gonna be less intense than dropping towards the earth. I'm also gonna lift the back of my head off the ground, apples length between the chin and the chest. I'm gonna do a little pull-pull, a switch and a pull-pull. Now, you don't have to make your scissors big. The beauty of this is you get to decide where those feet go. You get to decide how long the scissors are. You get to breathe into this the way that feels best to you. We're doing 4 and 3 and 2 and last one. We're coming in and we're just giving ourselves a nice little rock. Good. The next one we're gonna do, if you have a bender ball, you can use a bender ball. If you have a pillow, you can use a pillow. We're just gonna make this foot feel a little bit unstable. So I'm gonna use my bender ball here, and I want you just to feel your pelvic tilt to protect that lower back. We're gonna take this leg and point it towards the ceiling. I'm gonna elongate my arms. I'm gonna drop my shoulders away from my ears. And I'm gonna just find a little dinner plate. I'm gonna make a little circle here in one direction. I'm gonna keep that toe pointed. And if I wanna have a little bend to this knee, if it helps me feel better, I want you to think about that. You can think about placing an anvil across your hips. So keeping those hips nice and steady and stable as you're doing your little circle in one direction. And now I'd like you to do a little circle in the opposite direction. Good, just about the size of a dinner plate. Good. And then when you're ready, we're gonna bring that knee down. So those muscles, it's like right in the torso that connect to that thigh. So I want you to think about that. It's like using that leg all the way, like a tip of a marker on the ceiling. Bring that knee in, flex. And you can do these as long as you want to. If you want to do more, do more. So then when you're ready, we're going to point that toe. We're going to drop the leg out to the side. Keep these hips nice and stable. Float this around and come back up. So again, you get to decide how far you drop down. It's almost like making a little D, or a big D actually, because I float down, around, and I pull straight up. But again, you can make that bigger or smaller depending on how much you want to do. Good, let's do 2 more like that. I'm putting my pillow here. And last one. Good, and when you're ready, bring that knee in, point and flex your feet. Good, And when you're ready, we're going to take either your ball or your pillow, switch sides, and then we're going to bring this leg up, lengthening through the hamstring, pointing that toe. And again, a nice little circle here in one direction. Breathe into it. You're just going nice and slow. Really thinking about getting into these muscles right here, those lower part of the abs, right into that thigh and hip. And then when you're ready, go the opposite way. Good. And then when you're ready, come on down and just give that knee a little pull, flex and point the feet. Beautiful. Nicely done. We are going to, I almost forgot. We forgot to make our D's on this side. So let's let that leg drop out, around, and pull up, right? So again, it can stay higher or lower. Keep those hips nice and steady. You're breathing and it's about precision, right? So it doesn't mean you have to go further or deeper. You just want to listen to your body. Breathe, pull up. Down, around, and pull up. Last one, down, around, and pull up. Nice. And point and flex. I'm glad I didn't forget that guy. We would have been off balance a little bit. All right, we are going to talk about a little bit of plank here. And plank, I've been doing plank a little bit, 5 seconds more each day, and I've been able to gain a minute of plank over the time that I've been able to challenge myself. So I want you to really think about giving yourself a goal and giving yourself a challenge like that, because to me increasing by a minute was pretty crazy when I thought about doing it, but I was like, let's just do 5 seconds a day, and I sing some songs when I'm doing plank. So you can start with here with elongation of the leg or meaty parts of the knees down. You can also just come up and do a few seconds. So if you tuck your toes under, and then we're going to just relax into it for just a moment and then float down, right? So even if you start with 5 seconds, you can start each day adding a little bit of 5 seconds wherever that is. Good, so let's just do that one more time. We're going to tuck the toes under. If you want to, of course, put the meaty part of your knee down. Always give yourself permission. Breathe. And again, see if you want to find a favorite song or something to sing while you're in plank. And then let yourself down. So I just wanted to introduce that to you a little bit so that we can work on strengthening our tummy and just do what feels good to you. When you're ready, we're going to press back into child's pose, or you can do a little frog, whatever really feels good to you. Breathe into that, and if this feels really good, feel free to stay here. Breathe deeply. Good. And then when you're ready, I'd like you to just take those hands, spread them out, feel the bones of the hands in the earth, and then we're just going to make little circles, just side to side, just swaying a little bit. Maybe then coming forward and coming back. Just again, moving in our bodies, feeling what it is that we need to feel right now. Find your rhythm, find your breath. Come back to that intention. And then when you're ready, we're going to just tuck those toes under and just press up into down facing. Pedal those heels out. Remember, those heels never have to touch the earth. You know, it's all about genetics and luck. Some people have really long, muscles through the backs of their legs, and some of us have shorter Achilles tendons. So I want you to find breath and balance in your down facing. You can always use a wall, or I have a chair here. Press into the back of the body, breathe. Do what's best for your eyes, your wrists. Remember, your practice is about you as a whole person. Body, mind, and spirit. Let's pedal, pedal, pedal. Let your body weight fall into those heels. And then when you're ready, I'd like you to look towards your hands and just walk. And if you want to, you can jump up. We're gonna breathe. We're gonna let our heart spill across our thighs. Let the head drip down to the earth. And when we're ready, we're gonna stand all the way up. Good. Exhale. Roll those shoulders back. Think about your mountain. Nice and tall, long, empowered, successful breath from fingertips to toes. And when you're ready, exhale. Come back to heart center and your intention for your practice today. We are going to come over, and if you want to practice balance, you can practice balance anywhere. I like to practice it with a chair or wall near me so that I can feel successful and just always practice. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to bring our foot back, and what I'm doing here is I'm going to move myself up here. I'm going to breathe into my back of my Achilles tendon, and I'm going to just sink my weight back into more of a lunge. I'm going to breathe and lift up. So I'm going to start to just feel that energy and that breath there. I want to think about my breath when I'm balancing, because it's one of those times that we tend to hold on to our breath because we're concentrating. Good. Let's do one more here, just with a little bit of flow. Just forward and back. Good. And then this time I want you to come up, bring that toe a little closer. You can have a chair or a wall here. I want you to feel the earth underneath that foot that's supporting. Tuck your pelvis under, tummy's tight, long spine. And then when you're here, I want you to just either lift onto the toe and then just lift up a little bit here and there and just give a little balance wherever that feels good to you. You also can start by having your hand here. You want to remind yourself, even if you have your hand on something, that that posture stays the way that you want it to be. And then you're always welcome to then lift off when you want to. We're going to come down. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Again, you can always start with that support. You might want to put that support on the other side of you if that's where you are. We're going to start by just some breath and flow and just really feeling the energy through the back of that Achilles tendon, through the back of the calf. Good. And then when you're ready here, we're going to come up. We're going to just slide that toe a little bit here. I want you to feel the earth underneath your foot here. And then we are just gently lifting. And you can lift and find whatever feels good to you. Your breathing arms can be long. If you tip over, it's good luck for everyone in our space, so it's fine. And then when you're ready, let that toe come down and use any of the variations we talked about from the other side. Take a nice deep breath in and up. Good. Exhale, fold. Good. Breath in, rise up. And come back to heart center. Nice. We are going to take a breath in. We're going to forward fold. We're going to relax into this. Head down. We're going to elongate out however that feels good to you. We're going to come on down. And when you're ready, we're going to just come into a low lunge here. And again, you could use a little pillow or blanket underneath this back knee if that feels good to you. But let's just press through here and then maybe come back and just rock this out. We're going to make this practice a little bit moving here today. And what feels good to you as you're rocking back and forth? right? Sitting back a little deeper. Doing what feels best to your knee, to your hip. Good, we're gonna do one more there. Let's stay steady flow. Breathe in, rise up. And I love this. I love the way it feels down the side of my face and into this hip flexor. It's just opening. Get breath into any areas that have stress stuck there. Breathe into that. And then allow yourself to flow down. We're gonna take this leg back, however you wanna get it back. We're gonna flip the other one up. And again, here, we're doing some breath in and out. Good. Breathing in and flowing. And then whenever you're ready, you might want to just start easing back into that hammy stretch a little bit there. Breathing in, easing back. Good. In and out. Good. And one more here. Breathing in, rising up. Really nice. Breathe into that hip flexor. Look towards the sky. Eyes are gazing. Find your breath. Come on back. We're gonna come on down. Just do, of course, a little cat and cow. Just because it's such a great massage for the body. Really getting in touch with what feels best to you today. And remember, this is one of my favorites, just articulating that spine and really getting in there. Get that belly button back towards the spine. Use the energy of the earth to keep yourself up underneath those hands. And just massage what feels best to you. Good. And then when you're ready, we're gonna come on down. And we're gonna just do a little stretch through the shoulders and our chest. So we're gonna come on down on our tummies. And then I'm gonna lay with my arms out flat. I'm gonna use my right foot and my left hand. So I'm gonna think about my left hand stretching across the earth. I want my shoulders to surrender here and breathe into that. And then when you're ready, I'd like you to just lift your arm. We're gonna sweep this leg up. We're gonna open it up and we're gonna reach with our hand, having a good connection to the earth there. And just open up through this leg. Breathe into that. Find that breath as it moves across your shoulder, as it moves across the chest and the throat. Breathe. And then when you're ready, come on down. And we're going to come back to center. We're going to reach. This time I'm reaching with my right hand. And then I'm going to take my left hand, come up. And then I'm going to take this leg behind, breathing in here. And find your way, find what feels best. Find your breath. Make any adjustments that you want to. And when you're ready, floating back to center. Good, coming back. And let's just take those arms, sweep them behind, lift our heads, breathe here. Again, fingertips can be back here if you feel like you want them. They can be here. They can be on the ground if we want more support. They can be long. We're breathing, we're lifting. Nice. Allow your head to just look towards the earth as you're squeezing and lifting through the chest. And then when you're ready, float down, relax, surrender the shoulders. When you're ready, we're gonna let those knees come over to one side in a nice spinal twist. We are going to stack our hips here. Now here, again, you can use your pillow or your blanket, but if those shoulders aren't touching the ground, I want you to put something underneath your knees, because that's helpful. Stack and make any adjustments that you need to. I want you to find breath in this. I want you to feel the breath wrapping around the body, wrapping around the throat. Always ask yourself, where is the journey of the breath taking me? And then whenever you're ready, we're gonna float those knees up. And we're gonna just do a little baby windshield wiper here. Good. And then whenever you're ready, let those knees cascade over to one side, stack the hips. Again, I like to lift myself up and down. Like sometimes I get into a posture and I just feel like that feels stuck to my body. So I want you to just breathe into your body, make adjustments that feel better to you. Only you know you. Just feel empowered in being in this body. Good. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring our knees back to center. And we're going to do a little happy baby. I love happy baby. So you can do a yogi toe grip here right into the toes, or if it feels better to you, have your hands behind your thighs here. Good. And then we're going to use our towel or our strap to just come underneath one leg. We're gonna extend our other leg out. And here I have my pillow next to me. So if I'm using my towel here, I'm gonna just extend my opposite hand. So I'm having my towel around my left foot and my right hand is extending. And then I'm just gonna let my leg fall out to the side. And I'm breathing into the stretch in the inner thigh here. Again, if you have a strap, you can use a strap for the same thing, or even a piece of rope. But again, just allowing yourself to breathe and take that leg out to the side. When you're ready, switch hands with your towel and take opposite hand to opposite leg. And then we're going to move our pillow in case we need a little place to fall. I'm going to elongate my other hand across the floor, and then I'm going to let my leg cross over the midline here. So again, breathing into this hip, whatever feels best to you, just take it to your edge. Our hips tend to hold a lot of stress and tension, so it's good to get some nice deep belly breaths in here. And then when you're ready, come up. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Again, let this leg fall. I have my pillow here to catch. Opposite hand floats down across the earth, and you're just allowing that leg to come out to where it feels best to you. If you want more, you're dropping it deeper. If you want less, you're staying higher. So you're just doing whatever feels good. Nice deep belly breathing here. When you're ready, one last one, and then with the next inhalation, we're rising that leg up over the body, over your midline. Find your landing place, and then allow the opposite arm to cross. Breathe into that. Let your head relax. So the same thing can be done with that beach towel. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to float all the way up with our next deep breath in. Good. And if you're using your beach towel or not, you don't have to use any props for this actually, because you can just flatten those feet like you're standing on the ceiling and just draw those toes back towards the head. Good. And then when we're ready, we're going to relax them down. Feet come flat to the floor. And I just want you to lift your hips up and down. Let's just do a little A little motion there. Bring your knees in, rock side to side. We're gonna get ready for Savasana. So however that feels best to you, the corpse pose is typically done laying on your back, but I like to give you permission to lay on your tummy or sit up if that feels best, but we're just gonna do a little relaxation. You can put a little pillow under your knees if that feels good, or in the middle through your back. So whatever feels good to you, we're just gonna lay down, relax, arms are gonna float open. And I'd like you to just take some nice deep belly breaths here. Just notice the light across your face and your skin. See if you can take some nice deep belly breaths and sense your skin. Sense the skin on the bottoms of your feet. If we just slow down and really see if we can feel sensations in our body. Let that awareness move up through your feet and your ankles. Just bringing your breath into center. And just trying to connect with the sensations of your skin. Breathe up through the calves and the knees. Let that breath move across your thighs. Notice if there's any tension you want to release, especially as we begin to move into the hips and the pelvis. Sometimes our bodies just can be clenched up for no reason, so just breathing into that and just noticing, where are my muscles tight? Breathe into your tummy, your lower back. Let that breath just hug your heart, hug your lungs, soften through your throat, your face. See if you can breathe a different expression into your face. See if you can soften your face. Maybe scrunch it up a little bit and release it then. Let that breath just move across your arms into your palms of your hand and your fingertips. Breathe and be. Just give yourself permission to just have this moment of letting go of the need to try to control anything. Letting go of any self-judgment or criticism. Nice deep belly breaths, knowing we're doing the best that we can. And when you're ready, use the energy of your intention that you made at the beginning of our time today. And see that intention glow into the middle of your belly with your breath. See the rays of that intention and light move throughout the body, creating hope, love, the space that you need to be well. And use that energy and that light, that intention to wiggle fingers and toes. Use that energy energy and light to embrace change. Let's bring those knees back towards the body. And take another deep breath there. Let one arm float over to create a nice little pillow as you roll to the side. Good. Keep my leg back there and just breathe deeply here. When you're ready, make your way up to a seated posture. However that feels good to you. Roll the shoulders back and down. Take your time moving. Always give yourself permission to just do what feels best to you. And when you're ready, float all the way up. Bring that energy into heart center. When you're ready, float all the way up. Thank you so much for coming today. Namaste. Be well, and I miss all of you so much. I can't wait to give out hugs again, even if they're virtual and I'm seeing you from, space and time. So thank you so much. Be well.